Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some YouTube games. I've played a couple of the YouTube games in the past, but I just discovered that there are free YouTube Playables, and you don't need to download anything. You can just click and play, which is nice. So I'm going to be playing them on my iPad, and today I have my hair up. I have my hair up in a messy bun because yesterday I went outside. I had to go outside and run an errand, and where I live it was about, I think it was about 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was freezing. So my hair is acting a little bit crazy. If you know, you know. The first game that I'm going to play, it's called Color Page ASMR. For some of these, I'm going to keep the sound turned off because there's a little bit of music and noise in the background. This first game, Color Page ASMR, we need to tap to start and hold down the marker. But that went way too far. You have to try to get right on the dot. Right on the dot. I started this one to make sure we could play. I'm going to color in the carrot with an orange. I like that carrots come in many different colors. But it seems like for this game, we just have a choice of what the game gives us. This one gave us a couple colors. Completed there. Let's see, at the top it says level 13. I got this one up a little bit. Let's try it out. Let's see what this one turns into. And do a big circle. That pen moves really fast. So you have to try to get it right on the spot. Otherwise, it draws too far. This one, you can do pink, little pink lines. And a click. Let's do a yellow. What I like about this game is that it doesn't let you draw outside of the lines. I'll try a green color. I don't think I've ever had candy that's pink, green, purple, and yellow. That one's finished, completed. I find this game to be really relaxing. Check the eye, smile, ear. This one is a mohawk. Can you do a green mohawk? A little bit of the shirt. I'm guessing this is the skin tone. Sort of a beigey peach. To fill that in. And I think the mohawk would be green. Definitely green. I relate to this one because my hair is acting crazy today. But I actually think it's sort of difficult. It actually takes a lot of time to do a mohawk in your hair. Let's see. This one's huge. Whoa. We must have gotten to a higher level. That let us go. A full page. What's a little heart? Little candy. This one's automatically picking the colors for us. Can see how far we get in this one. Maybe try a different game in a second. I feel like this would be really nice after a stressful day to just gently color in these easy little coloring pages, and you don't even need to get out any material. materials. You can just play right on the screen. I'm on my iPad, but it also works on a laptop, and I did try it on my phone too, and that worked as well. I'm gonna check that. Check this. A little bit of green. Fill that in. Maybe we'll do this little monster, and then we'll jump over to a different game. We can try another game so we can see what that looks like, and maybe come back to this picture. I think it's funny how that green check mark shows up when we're not even done coloring the picture yet. So I have a couple of these saved. I'm gonna jump over. This next one that I pulled up, it's called Color Match. Color Match. And what we're going to try to do is match the same color of the picture that pops up and see how close we can match it. This one looks like a red onion, which is really a purple color. I think this one was going to be tricky. We might not need many colors to fill in our swatch here. It started with black. We also have Cafe Noir, which looks like a brown color. And then I think we could top that off with red. And that might get us where we need to be. Red, not quite a match yet. Let's add in some blue, because I think blue and red should make a purple tone. That's close. Maybe add in a little bit more blue. Add in a little bit of blue to see if we can get a closer match to the onion. I think that's a pretty close match. Let's check it. We got 97% accurate. I think that's pretty good. Now I guess we spray paint our onion in the color that we created. Try to get that fully covered. And that was 99% accurate. What is that? I'm not sure what that object is. Maybe it looks like bread or French fries. No, it looks like a beigey, sort of a beigey, looks like a beigey orange. I think this will kind of be a tricky color to start. I'm going to do an orange base on our palette. Orange base, and I don't think that this color would have any blue tones in it. So let's add in daffodil. What's fun about this game too is if we press the undo button, we can pull back the most recent layer. Adding in the color Deep Fried. That's not quite the depth I want. I'm gonna add in a little bit more fiery glow. That's pretty close. It's hard to tell with the shading within the object itself. We can check that and see how close we got. That says 100% accurate. He doesn't agree with 100% accurate on that color, but we can keep playing. Let's spray paint whatever this object is. Get right on the top. Let's go to the next level. Now here we have an orange. I do believe that there might be some blue tones in that. Let's try one layer of blue. gonna fully color that in. Just I want a little bit of the tint. We're making a little bit more of a purple base. I'm trying to see if we can lighten that up with some yellow. It's just making more, oops, it's making more brown tones. Add in a little bit of red. And now we're sort of getting to the tone that we want. We need to brighten this up, so let's add in some of that deep fried. We sort of have to re-dip back into the palette. Re-dip into our color palette to get more of that opaque color. Now we'll try some red. See if a little bit of this red gets us closer. This is a tricky color. It's a little bit trickier than I thought it would be. Add in some more red. That's some of that original pigment. We're dropping our color all over the page. No, I'm not ready to compare yet. I feel like that still needs to be a little bit brighter. Just a tiny bit, and add in some red. That's a little bit closer to the tone. Let's check our work. Carrot. That says 95% accurate. We'll take that. And let's spray paint our orange. I think the tone of the finish, whether it's matte, semi-matte, glossy, or ultra glossy, always changes the actual color that's left behind. This one is going to be tricky. It's a green apple. A green apple. I think that base probably will have some blue in it. Just add a tiny bit of blue. And I think some aquamarine. That blue definitely made it a little bit darker than we want, so I'm actually going to start that over. I want to start with a base of this aquamarine. Add in one dot of blue. Maybe this peach fizz. That's almost the base that I want. I always think it's interesting how colors have so many other colors in the tones. Now that made it a little bit muddier than I want, so I'm actually going to remove all of that. And I want to see aquamarine, daffodil, maybe even that peach fizz. That's pretty close. I don't know what this is going to add. That makes it a little bit muddy. A little bit muddy, but actually pretty close. Check our work. Now the Playables says that that's 95% accurate. And let's spray paint our apple all the way around the edges. So tricky to get the top of it. And it says we're 98% accurate. Let's jump to the next level. This one, this looks like a door. A door. This is tricky with the colors that they give us. They give us red, blue, capri, orange, and a green, a very bright green. I want to start with a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the orange. I feel like every time I mix those together, it sort of makes a muddy color. That's a little bit purple. Let's do a dot of the orange. This might get us close. Probably need a little bit more blue with the orange. This is a really tricky color, I think, to get. Maybe this one doesn't have blue in it at all. Let's clear our palette. Let's try it with the green. A little bit of the capri. A little bit of red. That's getting a muddy, muddy green color. I definitely think we need a lot more red. A red tone. That definitely helped adding the red and the green together. Need a lot more red. That got us pretty close, but to me that's a little bit too dark. This one's tricky. Adding in a little bit of orange might help. I don't think we're getting close. Maybe a little bit of blue. A little blue and maybe red. We'll see where that gets us. That blue really turned it the wrong color. Let's try to add some more orange back in. This is a really tricky color. I don't think we're going to be anywhere close on this one. Let's check how far away that is. That's pretty far away. That said, that was 83% accurate. That's pretty generous. I don't think that's anywhere close to the same color. But we just painted our door. Still a pretty nice brick red color. Got a nice brick red. 92% accurate. That's funny. Let's do one more and maybe we can switch our game and I can show you another one. Here it looks like we have a fluffy, fluffy stack of pancakes with a couple blueberries on it. I think we should start with a dark base. Add in some of that deep fried color. And I think we need... I can't imagine there'd be any green tones in this color. I'm gonna add back in the deep fried. Oops. And swirl that around. That's a very red toned. A little bit too red toned. I think red is one of the hardest colors after you add it into it. When you're mixing paints, it's one of the most difficult colors to lift out. I wish on this game, I wish we had each time in the colors, I wish there was a pure black and a pure white, and also just a blending stick, because often when you're mixing your own paints like acrylics or oil paints, each time you're not re-adding in pigment. We're not re-adding pigment into the palette. Okay, this one's a little bit too fun. Let's do this one too. Looks like we have a glazed donut. Looks like this might have tones of blue and red. So let's start with blue bonnet. Oh, here we did get a white. Ask and you shall receive. Wow, the blue and the red actually made a really nice combination. I just want to see what this looks like if we had one dot of white. See, that just lightened that up so nicely. Pretty close to the tone. I'd say that's about 95% accurate. This is 93% accurate. Complete. And let's spray paint our donut. Spray paint all the way around. And we got 97% accurate. Let's try another game. Let's gonna exit out of that. We can go into our saved. I'll show you this one. It's called DOP4, DOP4. I'm not exactly sure how that's supposed to be pronounced, but what we're trying to do is fill in the drawing. So here we have a shoe, And this wants us to try and imagine what the rest of that outline would look like. This one's a little paw. I'm guessing it wants us to draw the outline up the paw. And this one's pretty forgiving. Oh no, he's missing his other antler. I wonder if as the levels go on, if these need to be much more accurate. I worked this one up pretty far to see if it would let us. Looks like he needs pants. I'm gonna go next. I have a little vacuum cleaner here. Needs the tube to connect. And our clover, 4-leaf clover, is missing a piece. And looks like this girl is missing the mirror part of the mirror. Oh no, it's a little dragon. He's missing his wing. Let's try to match it. It's not being forgiving on that one. Looks like he needs his basketball. Just a circle. This one needs a tail. Rooster's tail. I forget what those look like. It gives us a clue of what it wants us to draw if we're so far off. And this one may be a water droplet. Oh, we're missing the pipe. The pipe underneath. These are straw. Oh no, it's an artist missing their canvas. Let's add the canvas in. And now he's happy. What do we think he's missing? He probably wants his crown. I'll draw a funny one to see if it wants us really throw it off. I'll draw an oversized crown. Oversized. Hand doesn't like that. Fine, we'll draw it normal. And he's happy. Give a little birthday cake. Needs a candle. With half of a little gummy bear. Half of a gummy bear. Let's draw that back in. And he's happy. Here's another one I like. The next one that we're going to try it's called Words of Wonders. Words of Wonders. On the left side, there's tiles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the right side, we have letters. So here we have N, E, and T. And these are really good for brain training, or if you just need to sort of relax at the end of the day with something easy. I really like these because we're trying to create as many words as we can. So let's do N-E-T, net, T-E-N, 10. Maybe this one we can work up eventually to a more difficult level. If you get stuck, you can use a hint. So now 1 and own. These are pretty easy on these first levels. Let's try level 4. We have P-T-O. Pot. Top. And I bet the last one is opt. O-P-T. Opt. Now this one we have W-A-L-L. So let's do wall. There's probably law and all, A-L-L for the last one. We made it to level 6. Level 6. Now that's all we'll do for today. If you have any other YouTube playables that we should play next time or that we should try out together, let me know in